G'day guys, how's it going? Welcome to Man Cave Tuesday. Hope you all had a ripper week. Not much going on this week because I had that bloody ride that takes like 3 days out of my week. Anyway, let's get into this epic bloody teaser. Rightio guys, well there you go. That was a bit of a teaser of Full Pelt Pete's Mount Disappointment / Tallarook State Forest ride that we did on the weekend. About 20 guys rocked up to do that, and bloody fantastic. Had a ball out there, and I tell you what, Mount Disappointment and Tallarook, great places to get out and have a ride. I'll obviously be having a video that I'll be putting together of that ride. I just wanted to do a quick debrief with all the bits and pieces. You most probably saw the video of me doing the pack up and all that kind of stuff. Right, so the house, the tent, brilliant, works well. The only thing which I've said before is if it would be good if this tent was, you could set it all up without pegging it down. This you can't, you have to put the 4 pegs in, then it'll assemble up, and that's what holds it up. And that's great that when you set it all up and then you go, oops, I've got it facing the wrong way, you can pick it up and move it around and then peg it, or take the pegs out, move it, and then just peg it back in the right spot. I realised I was actually on a lean. You couldn't tell, but once you lay down, it was all right. I just got my bag and shoved it under, so my shoulders was just up enough and it was all good. But yeah, there you go. So 2-man tent is what you want for a single bloke doing a camping thing. Said it 100 times. Clothing, I've got to change there. So my cargo pants, and I normally run a belt like that. This is quite a lumpy, when it's fed into there, it's a fair amount of bulk on that. So what I'm going to do is get a material type belt, and that will make that a little bit smaller. So I'm leaving that out, so I know I'll go to Kmart or Big W or somewhere like that and buy some cheap $10 material belt, which will fold up a whole lot easier. Now, as for the upper part, oh, there you go. The old shoes in the bag, fold up really like still working brilliantly. Socks Jockson t-shirt, didn't use them, but always good to have. Now for the upper layering, so I have just a Bonds t-shirt, then I had that, a long sleeve, and then I had, which I didn't use this at all on the weekend, which is just the small Kmart Big W cheap bloody thin hoodie. You get the really cheap ones because they're thin and they just pack up. So that really works well, having a t-shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt, and then the hoodie that gives you that multiple layering thing. But that's really all you need, especially like here in this type of weather. We had, I think it was about 10 degrees is what it got to overnight, and I think I noticed on the thing it was like 30 degrees on the bike in the sun, so it might have been, I don't know, 28 or something like that. Cool, there's that. Now, pillows, the mattress, all worked brilliantly, but I found a new use for this. So I showed you that. This is a cedar summit, it doesn't matter, whatever. Just one of those dry sacks which you fold up like that. Boom, that'll be waterproof, airproof, whatever. And I said it was great for putting your fly in if you have dew and then you want to put it in your bag. Another person said that in the comments, and the last one is that they have some type of bag that they stick that in that obviously has air through it. Must be like a mesh bag or something. And then they just strap it to the back of their bag. As they're riding along, it dries it out. That was a bloody good idea too. But so that's one purpose for doing that, putting your fly in there to stop all the water getting through your bag. God, man, ramble. An esky. So some of the guys went into town, got some extra grog and some ice, and they brought it back. And hey, presto, the ice went in there, all the grog went in there, and it just sat there. Brilliant. So there you go. You can have a makeshift esky. And another thing is, if you needed to get water for whatever reason, it could actually be a bucket as well. So there you go. So I didn't think of those things, but so that's even more valuable now to have that just sitting on the bottom of your bloody bag. No weight to it, nothing. Brilliant. Right, the sleeping bag. So this is my summer sleeping bag that I got by mistake. I won't go into it. This is, and I'm only giving you the comfort rating, it's 2 degrees Celsius is its comfort rating. Like I said, it got to about 10 overnight. So I was in this, there was no blanket in there with me. I did have me clothes still on, like a t-shirt and me pants and socks. I had this only done up halfway, and I was pretty much during the night a little bit sweaty. So hopefully that gives you an idea about, you know, getting whatever. But I always recommend just get a -10 bloody sleeping bag, and if you're too hot, unzip it. Right, now for my electronic stuff. So the old Samsung 7 something light, whatever. This tablet with that drive mode dashboard 2 worked brilliant. It's still got the problem with where I'm mounting it. In actual fact, James, who is also a DR650 rider, he has the exact same tablet as me. He uses drive mode dashboard, which is the first version, and it was showing me that you can actually do the tracking on that one. And in the number 2, you don't have that. But he actually then showed me after the ride, he sent through a thing saying that the drive mode dashboard 2, it's getting close to having that functionality in that. But what he did was he's got the quad lock. So he mounted a quad lock thing in there somehow. I can't remember what he was saying. And then he has the anti-vibration and the arm like I have. And he seemed to think that it was pretty bloody good. So that might be an option as opposed to me doing that hard mount that I was going to do. Power. So this light I showed you, this is that Wuben little bloody, call it a tent light or whatever. That works great. You know, boom, you got that. I did forget to bloody tell you guys that it is actually a power bank as well. So it's 5,200 milliamp hours. So I used that as a torch in the tent. I didn't use it I most probably used it for like 3 minutes in the tent. But then I hooked up my phone to it in the morning. My phone was 100%. This was still had bars left on it. It was still operating. So yeah, that might be a good thing. And remember, for me, having it for doing with the filming and all that kind of stuff, which I didn't utilize that on this particular ride, is a good thing. Like I keep saying, just have the headlamp is really all you need. Right. Mark. This is the camera that I use on my helmet. This is the camera that I used to use as the pole that would look at me. But now I've gone to the GoPro. I absolutely love this GoPro. If you saw that footage, I just love that it gets so much of you and the other riders. That's the brilliant part of that. Just crazy. Anyway, this ran out of battery. I bought a spare battery. This is the one out of this one. I didn't check to see whether it was fully charged, because as soon as I get footage off, they get fully charged and then they get sat, so that next time I go to grab them, they're fully charged. But obviously this one sat for so long, it discharged. And it was damn well bloody empty. So on the second day, I didn't get a lot of bloody footage. But anyway, so another lesson for Mark, make sure your batteries are charged. But now I'm going, and this is what I'm going to ask you guys. So I had a spare battery for this one. Now, I only use this for 3 sets, because when I'm using this, and I've got this one, when I turn this on, I've got to turn that one on, and then I've got to be not going fast or not having, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, so that the microphone in the helmet hears me saying 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I get close to this, because it's only using an external microphone, it hears the 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when I'm in the editing, I put the 2 clips like that, and then I listen for the one. So we're seeing the 2 clips, and we can hear both clips at the same time. And what we do is I just arrange them till I can hear it 1, 2, 3, 4 with no echo, and then I know that they are spot on lined up. So it's a bit of a bugger. So I end up not using this one much, because when you're out there and and then something comes, you quickly turn. You can't just do that and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever you're doing, it's all over, or the people bloody piss off on you, and you're left behind. That doesn't happen. So what I'm getting to, don't have me bloody. I'm really thinking I'm going to get another one of these to replace that one. I love this. These Sony action cameras, they've been rock solid, fantastic. But the ability to have a remote control, that when I just press that, both of them start going. And the only reason why I'm loving it is just purely the view footage that you get from this looking back. And when you're doing the edit, to be able to swap between the two, I think it makes a more interesting video. So, and I think the only way I'm going to be able to do it is to put it on the chin. I was going to ask you, what do you think? I don't know. So you saw the footage of me going along, and all you can see is there's a camera on the side. But would it be that distracting to see this camera right there, which is what I don't like? I don't know, I'm whacking on. That's it. Let's go. I had some problems with the bike. Righto guys, so there is Max. Max, as per usual, just ran flawlessly, except there was an issue. And the issue was, I'd pull up, turn him off, and then he wouldn't start. It was like, what the devil's going on? Just nothing. There was all power, he just wouldn't start. And I figured out what the problem was. Right, do you see that little thing there? That is the clutch sensor thing. It's not really a sensor, it's just a wired thing. So when you start the bike, you have to pull the clutch in. What happened is, look at that. See how that just pops out like that? There was a whole other thing that's come, or see, this is all, I don't know if you can see that, it's all flopped off. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But yeah, that was my issue, and it was interesting because Pete had just done a video explaining how to disable that. So I'll be doing a video on, it's a very easy job. Check out Full Pelt Pete if you want to see now how to do that. Very, very simple. I'm going to do that because that was a real pain in the ass. Right, so the other problem that I had was I had RAM mounts coming up here and then that GoPro hanging off here, and I had it gotcha strapped and it was getting all bloody wobbly. I was doing a chase down of rogue riders, which I'll explain in a minute when it comes just about cornerman systems. Think, what the hell's going on? And then the next minute, this went bloop. I'd lost a nut on one of these little mount things. It's a different setup, but yeah, which made that bloody fall down, and my camera was all loose. It's a minor problem. It's just an easy fix. But that brings me to the cornerman system. So the cornerman system worked brilliantly the whole 2 days. There was only one exception, and that was on the first day going back into camp. There was no cornerman dropped at the camp. Pete's done that ride out there. Obviously, he's very familiar with it. He figured that obviously, lots going through your brain. Just, oh, there's camp, boom, in we go. He didn't drop a cornerman there. And I was saying to Pete, you've got to put your mindset into everybody else. They've come along, they're not familiar with the place, they've never seen it before, and they're along for the ride. So they're like a passenger in a car. The driver, when he's working out where to go, the next time he does it, he knows where to go. But the passenger that went the first time, if you were to ask them to do it the second time, they weren't working in their brain, they weren't working it, and they don't know how to bloody, get there. So same thing. So that's where, so what happened was, I was coming along and I see the camp and I'm going, I'm pretty sure that was our camp, but then I could see these bikes going straight past. I'm thinking, shit. So I quickly just went into the camp to make sure it wasn't our camp. It was. Pete and all the other riders were there, and I went, shit. So I jumped out and we're chasing these bloody bikes down. Of course, it's dusty, you can't go that fast. Then I had me bloody things falling off and going. I couldn't, I was just trying to hold it all together. I didn't want to stop because I wanted to get these. So they went for quite a bloody way. And the thing that surprised me, and I forgot to ask them, is how they were dropping cornermen. I picked up cornermen as I was chasing the very last person or first person. And I should have asked, how did these cornermen, who was dropping the cornermen? Pete should have been the only person dropping cornermen. So they should have realised, and that's where having a bit of a debrief, because I think I asked that question, does everybody understand how the cornerman system works? And actually that's one thing that I never actually mention, is that when I'm doing a ride, if I'm not dropping, if it's not me dropping a cornerman, well then something's gone wrong. There's a miss. You should stop and wait to be picked up. But anyway, that was a very small minor thing. The rest fantastic. But so call it a general service announcement, community announcement with the cornerman system for lead riders. Make sure you drop them on every bloody corner, regardless of what you think. And for riders, nobody should be dropping a cornerman apart from the lead rider. If you're dropping someone and you're not the lead rider, or someone that's not the lead rider is dropping you, you go, hang on a minute, what the hell's going on here? I think something's gone a bit amiss. Righto, shut up. Rightio guys, it's time for the Jay Leno's Garage Australia $150 giveaway. Bloody ripper. Now, to the crew members that didn't get an email or didn't see it or whatever the hell, I'll let you know now that you have to each week enter to go in for that $150. I'm not having it where I'm listing everybody's name and your check and all that kind of stuff. If you go to that that page on the site, it explains when to register. I think it's between Wednesday and Friday. If you register, you'll be in for it. Cool. Let's just get into it. Rightio, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Steve Evans. Well, there you go. Congratulations, Steve. Evan will send you out a thing in the mail as per usual. $150 to spend on this website here. Now, I tell you what, after that ride, Pete sent me a picture of his bags. Now, hang on, I don't know if you can see that. The old bags get pretty bloody dusty and shitty and whatever. Anyway, he sent me a picture through text of his bag looking absolutely brand new, and what he'd used was the quick detailer to just sprayed it on, wiped it all up, and he said it looked like bloody brand new. So there you go. Good old Jay Leno's products. Well, there you go, guys. That is Man Cave Tuesday done and dusted for another week. As I know, it wasn't much, but at least it was something. So now I've got to get stuck into getting that ride video done. It may take me about a week because I've got other bloody videos and bits and pieces to get done too. While I've got to strike while the iron's hot. Righto, remember, keep on riding, and if you ain't riding, keep on keeping on. And crew members, top blokes.